In Project Zomboid, you're always running to one place after another, so I thought to myself it would be nice to maybe slow down a bit and stop dying every 3 seconds. But where would be the best place to cut myself off from the whole entire world? The woods? No, there would still be some stragglers. Maybe a house. Well, I already seen how that ended. But one option stood out from them all. A bunker located east of your mom's house. This was the perfect option. I knew I needed the right stats to be able to survive more than 2 seconds, so I carefully cited every single one of them.
My crew was as carefully chosen as the disciples of Christ.
With a little bit of luck and a whole lot of obesity, maybe I could actually do this. Then I forgot to add light eating, so frick. So I spawned in. Yes, I was naked and a burnt victim, and I couldn't walk faster than a camel could walk on a walk.
What?
But hey, turns out I accidentally still had the survivor mod or whatever still activated. So it was me and my wife. I already had limited amount of food, now I had to share with 2 people. There's not a lot of things to do in the bunker, but at least I had a TV. Life and living was my new best friend. Like any other human, I at least wanted some sort of clothing. So I searched around my new home for said clothing. I found this white fancy shirt, and well, it'll do. There's also some skirts, but I would rather wear nothing, to be honest. One of my skills that I'd chosen was to spawn in with some food items. I went to go check it, and it was quite surprising. I had a bit more than I thought I would. Maybe I could actually reach the 100-day mark this time. One thing we were well stocked up on was ice cream, so that was cool. I also found a stash of canned goods. Just in case if something bad were to happen, I wanted a weapon. I knew there was equipment stocked up in the back, so I searched there and found myself a shovel. There was also a few water dispenser thingies and multiple of them, so I had a good supply of water. I wondered to myself, what would happen if I ordered my wife to go find some food for us? But to no one's surprise, she went to the kitchen and grabbed some random food, confirming her IQ was below -10. My wife had failed on finding food for us, but maybe she could forage for it. So I selected this humongous area and made her get to work. As a not-so-smart individual, my wife began searching on the stone ground of our little bunker. But surprisingly, she was actually getting berries. Hey, I didn't know how that worked, but I was sure happy. But was this considered cheating? I didn't really know. Maybe you guys can decide, but I don't really care. At this point, I was thinking to myself, this is going to be way too easy. Little did I know the unfortunate events that would soon unfold. Since I had nothing else to do, I wanted to get my fitness up, but I was suffering from so much pain that I couldn't even do a simple squat. I wanted to see if my injury was actually there, and it was. Hours passed by. I mainly watched over my wife foraging and watched life and living. This was my first meal of this challenge, and I gotta say, it was not that bad. Eventually, I decided to refill these jugs of whatever, I don't know, and hide them so my wife could not get them. I'm not selfish. It's survival. Come on. I found myself a note to keep track of the days since I didn't have a watch. But after that, I went to sleep for the first time. It was officially now day 2. Maybe. I don't really know. All my bandages were dirty, and I could hear life and living was on. Already a great start to my newfound day. With some of the parts that my wife had collected, I made myself a spear. That was it. Didn't make anything else. What else was I supposed to do? Speaking about my wife, strangely, I did not see her today. She was most likely foraging outside though, so I wasn't so worried. I rechecked the cans, and I realized I skipped over some old meat that was slowly rotting, so I cooked some up and, ate it. It's been multiple hours, and I still haven't seen my wife though. I'm getting a little concerned, but I'm sure she'll be back soon. Since no shows were on, and there's nothing else to do, I decided to stack up my cans and see how much I had. A pretty nice haul, I would say. The whole entire day, I mostly read books and glanced around the room to see if my wife was there. Eventually, I became tired, and without my wife, I fell asleep. It was now day 3. I looked around for my wife a bit, and then I checked her inventory, and the gathering of berries and everything else had stopped. So, I don't know. I read and I read, and then for some reason the lights became dimmer. Maybe it was now nighttime, and I just slept through the whole entire day. Well, that was it for day 3, and now it was day 4. Well, still no wife in sight, and I was still limping. I even checked her inventory again, and still nothing. I even made the foraging area inside, just in case if she was out there, still searching. For some reason, the meat I had in the freezer became stale, so I wondered if I could still cook it, and so I did. Then I burnt it. I still ate it, though. Wasn't gonna let good food go to waste. For some reason, I could do squats now, so that's a plus. So throughout the day, all I did was rapidly teabag the floor until it was night-night time. Day 5. I had a beard now, so that was cool, and I called my wife, and she never showed up, so that was not cool. But I needed to take my mind off some things, so I decided to have a little bubble bath. Throughout the day, I just watched all my VHSs, and then I heard this. Maybe my wife was finally back, so I jumped up, but I made sure to grab my weapon. Could be an intruder after all. I searched around, but nothing. Must have been a glitch or something. Surprisingly, my right foot had healed, so I checked the left, and it had not. Well, whatever it was, it's gone now, because it's now day 6. And day 6 bring its own challenges. I heard the noise that all Project Zomboid players fear, noise of the helicopter. I ran and I hid. I was decently close to a town. Not really. I don't think they could find me here. Maybe I was fine, maybe I wasn't. Only time would tell. Dreadful start to the day, but hey, I could finally walk normal now, so, well, somewhat normal. Now that the helicopter was gone, I went back to my normal life of doing absolutely nothing. I finally decided to start dismantling things, and then I broke the first thing I dismantled, so I gave it up. I'd really wanted a watch for the past 50 days now, and this was my opportunity to get one. Maybe the helicopter bring in some zombies, so I began screaming. I waited and well, no one showed up, so what a shame. Maybe there was a few zombies around now, and I wanted to be safe, so I began barricading the door with little materials I had. It was coming along well, but I needed more crates and stuff. So I checked the back. I knew this was always here, but I've never really gone back here and explored. But hey, no better time than the present. Over here, it was pretty boring. It was just a ladder. But over here, things got interesting. I didn't know it went this far around. And then I accidentally slammed my head into the wall. I won't even lie. I had a heart attack when I seen him, but it was so nice to see a friendly face. I was originally going to have him forage around, but then I realized he could go grab bodies and pile them up back here, and maybe one of the bodies be my wife. Or maybe I could get a watch, whatever one. Preferably the latter, though. And so he was off like a herd of turtles. But I kinda wanted to follow him and see where he came in at. Well, at least we know now that there's 2 doors instead of just one. Just in case if raiders showed up, I wanted to be able to quickly barricade that door. So I began moving some stuff. But our friend was back. I was eager to go check our first body. And, well, it wasn't my wife, and it didn't have the watch I wanted. But hey, I knew the time now, so that's amazing. I watched our friend pass by with another corpse, and I struggled to rotate this. I don't know why it was so hard. It literally took me like 5 minutes to do it. But once I finally got it done, I ran to see the body. But it wasn't my wife, and well, he didn't have any clothes on, so. But then I realized I could just take the corpse he had in his inventory and place it on the ground myself. Genius. Well, it was now getting late. Well, late for me, of course. My sleeping schedule was all messed up. But now it is day 7. First thing I did, of course, was check the bodies, and no new ones. Weird. As I was moseying around doing my own thing, a random stranger popped in. What are the odds? To be more specific, the odds were 9%. So to be a little more fair, I lowered it to 1%. And then sent her to go forage. Well, I checked on our good friend Dean's inventory, and he had another corpse. So I took it and placed it on the ground, but for some reason the 2 corpses were the exact same. Don't know why though. I'll be honest, I was kind of jealous of Dean's clothing. I kind of wanted it for myself. So, well, I took it for myself and began stealing his corpses too. But I gotta admit, my new clothing, I was looking fly in. I was now sticking around the bodies a lot. And, I realized 3 times in a row, I got the same guy. That had to be impossible. Luckily for us, though, Dean and our little girly friend had canned soup on them. Day 8. Once I attempted to stay in the house for 100 days straight, I had a pretty good maggot farm, but this one, I feel like I could get even better. I even told our newest friend to go pile corpses too. But then, I was blessed. One of the corpses had a digital watch on, so now I could keep track of the days. And she spawned with a maggot inside, so I can farm that one maggot over and over and turn it to 100. And so I did. 5 hours later, though, once I thought I had 100 in my inventory, but turns out they weren't duplicating and I only had 2. So that was a day wasted, but now it is day 9, and I had a slight fever, but I wasn't gonna let that stop me. I was gonna keep piling corpses. I mean, no one's died from a little sickness here and there. And I'm a real man. But as I was reading my book, that little sickness turned into something way much worse. But who cares? I just went to doing some more squats. No pain, no gain, am I right? But I decided to take myself a little nap. It was not day 10 yet, it was only a few hours off. As I awoke, I was ready to take on the world. Until I checked my health bar. Yeah. I didn't know what to do in this scenario, except for run around like a chicken that had no head. But I did know how to do one thing, and that is Google my issues away. Ah, frick. So I sat down and accepted the inevitable. Throughout this challenge, I've been greedy on every single turn, trying to preserve my own life over others. And that greediness has got me killed now. I hope you learn from my mistakes. At least now, I can see my wife. Bye-bye, viewers. Bye-bye.